Hi, Sagittarius. I know we just did a reading. However, I wanted to get this one out a little earlier for you. It is your May reading, your Taurus season reading, how much it's already shifted the energy, right? It's like now we realize that we don't need to rush to get things done. Now we realize that if we're just rushing in our mind, then are we actually doing anything? You know, where Taurus is like, all right, we'll do this, and then we'll do this, like methodically. Not that they don't ever have stuff come up, but they just naturally, or they grow into it in a way where they know how to just take things as they come. Even if it's not a part of the plan, I think that they're recognizing that more than ever. And it looks like you are kind of being not forced. Some of you could be forced. And I want to talk about how we're forced. A lot of times, and you know, you can take this belief as you will, or you can take this for what you will, but a lot of times, and this is even stated in a lot of different places, that when we hold on to things or we don't express certain emotions or things that are going on with us, you don't have to tell everyone in your life. You don't have to tell like just anyone. You can just tell a person that you trust, a therapist, someone you're working with, whatever it is, or just a really trusted person in your life, what is going on. Because a lot of times, even if it feels like, and in a way that you'll understand, that even if it feels like it's an insecurity, I'm trying to find a better word. It's not. You know, it's not okay to not ask for help, but it's also not okay to ask someone for help or express what's going on with you and not take rightful action. And sometimes the action is just sitting with it. Sometimes the action is just acknowledging what's going on, of what is, and being so present to what is happening with you. You know, if you are going through a time where you are closing a huge chapter, if something subconsciously arose for you this in the past few months, and now it's coming to the forefront, you know, the Five of Cups is he still has the Two Cups behind him. On the bright side, the Ten of Swords is saying that you're finally done. You're finally done with something that you maybe have been battling in your mind. That is possibly, like, if you stuff down certain things, where I was going with that is that it can become chronic pain later down the road. I'm not saying that people have done this to themselves at all. It's something that is not talked about enough. So that's why I like to talk about it and bring people's awareness to the fact that when you don't allow your emotions to be freed, how can your body be freed? Right? In the study of yoga, the body has all the kinks and the knots in it, and we just can't see it. But then it becomes literal knots, or it becomes nerve damage, or it becomes this, and so on and so on. And a lot of things correlate to, there's a root there. Usually a different body part will really highlight something specific that has a pattern that has gone on in your life. Again, this is not something to feel bad about or shamed about if this is what's going on in your life. This is just something to acknowledge, something to allow yourself to see that when you acknowledge certain things to yourself, you have more control. You have more stability, you have more capability, you have more power. You have more creative energy. You have more energy in general. You know, like, also I hope that you can't hear that noise as much as I can. I think I might go close the window real quick, okay? Just let that sink in for a second. It should be okay. All right. So what you're giving to yourself now is time. If you need to heal, time if you need to heal your mind. So you may find yourself a little bit more secluded or wanting to have some more alone time this month, perhaps, because something even just about your personality, or not even your personality, but how you've handled certain things, they are coming back to show you before it has to actually become a situation. And if it has, you know, you'll be okay. This shows new life. The Ten of Wands to the the Ten of Swords to the Knight of Wands is showing you that there is new life. There's no need to rush it though. But when you have the energy again, it's just time. It will be time to go, and you'll be like, oh, this stuff is no big deal. And even if you're just visualizing, like just even think about, I just can see the horse just like prancing around. And even if you're just visualizing yourself moving again, or moving in a way that you wish you could or have been wanting to, moving, it's not just moving physically, but moving mentally. Like, how do you want to handle things? How do you want to handle certain situations? How does this need to be handled? Right? It looks like that it's possible that you're just maybe needing to accept your responsibilities, and you have to learn, this is teaching you how to juggle what's going on in your life, or all the things that are going on in your life. And that, you know, for a while it feels like you have all the energy, you got this, you feel great, but then also you're like, I don't know how to handle all of this. You can. It's, if you think too much, it's okay to think about it, of course, like, again, accept that. But if you think too much about how you're going to do something, instead of actually finding different ways to do it, then it can be very overwhelming. Of course. How am I going to do this all? What do I need? What's happening? Well, what's happening is that you're being shown like really what's not important anymore. What part of the vision, or what part of what comes next, or what part of what you've been looking for is no longer a material goal of yours, or you've realized that it's just wishful thinking if you're not taking step by step. And if you are, it's realizing that there are things that you want, yes, but this has to come first. You have to come first. Whatever's going on with you has to come first. Because look, if you want this, and Taurus season is going to show you, because you're going to see it all around you, exactly what you want, or whatever it is that you're looking to find in this life, or fulfillment, or what you want to build, what you're looking to build. Life is going to start showing you all the pieces around you, because you have them within you too. Not to throw it in your face, not to make you jealous, not to make you envious. And those things are just indicators. But really, it's just showing you like, no, this is possible. Taurus season wants to show you that when you allow things to dissipate the way they're supposed to, you allow things to go, instead of forcing things to hold on, forcing people to hold on, forcing yourself to hold on. You can't force people, but even if you don't see someone energetically, if you're still holding on to them, or they're holding on to you, and you feel it because that is real, there is still taking up space in your brain, still taking up space in somewhere in your body, somewhere in your emotion. And maybe if it was a very significant person or situation in your life, it will take a little bit longer. But like I've told Scorpio in this past reading, and it's something I figured out years ago, that if you're willing to be patient with that part of yourself, you're willing to go deep with that part of yourself, the time doesn't matter, because you go into this portal-like place. Like, have you ever been around somewhere where someone or in a certain situation or doing something where you're like, holy shit, I didn't realize it was already this time. And like 5-6 hours has gone by like this, and you're like, oh shit, I gotta go home and do this. I gotta, go do that. Well, it's the same thing. If you allow yourself to go, because I think that's what's been stopping something in your mind from sticking. Maybe you believing that you can have the life that you set out to have, or that's why you can't fully visualize, or won't allow yourself to, because there could be somewhere deep down that you, deep down, because I know most of you believes you deserve it. Sagittariuses have high self-worth in a lot of ways, but then if you go even deeper, there may be a part of yourself that doesn't believe you do. There may be some forgiveness of yourself that you need to do this month. It's just very clear that Taurus season's like, hey, you can have this. This will be yours. You just have to learn to be patient. You have to learn to let go and detach from things that there's no mutual feeling. It's like being in a relationship and one person only wanting the other, like forcing, like almost like, I love you so much and this person's so scared to let go. But the truth is that that energy only comes out when it's not really meant to be. It's just showing you the way that you've taught or been taught how to love and how you've been playing that out. And if those two people really do love each other, yeah, of course they can make it. Of course it can happen. But a lot of times those things show up in our lives, even a job that you think you really, really want, and then you get it and you realize this is nothing what I wanted. Or you really, really want it and you don't get it because you're so attached to the outcome. And this needs to be, take it for what you will, for sure. I just need to take a sip. This needs to be a part of your life. We have Uranus moving through Taurus, wherever that ends up in your chart, and we'll get into that into the second part a little bit more. But if this is what you're aspiring to, what you don't realize that are behind or within these pentacles, within this person who has the clothes, who has the surroundings, who has the je ne sais quoi, who has the attitude, the demeanor, that nothing's going to go away just because she looks away for a moment. Or if she has to take care of other things. She has people that help her and she trusts to take care of this. Trust is a big part of the Ten of Pentacles, trusting that you'll have something to pass on or have something to give forth, that you can have everything that you're seeking and that you're wanting in a very physical, secure way. Because that seems like that's what you want, and that's what you're learning. You don't have to want it in a traditional manner, because these are very traditional cards, but the traditional way shows you how to implement it in your life. It's not going to look the same. It doesn't have to. But if there's a part of you, that feels like you want it or need it, it's just like popped out right away. And there could be someone in your life who's like, hey, I've been trying to tell you, I've been trying to show you, why don't you want to listen? Or a part of you that's been coming, you've had sign after sign after sign, and this is kind of your last one. It's like, hey, how are you supposed to focus on this? You're so confused. Like, I'm giving you the opportunity to realize that whatever it is that you're not letting go of in order to produce more or to be a little bit more focused on what is real for you, then it may just stay, stuck in time, right? We're talking about time. Right now it's about trusting that even though it's hard to trust your body or hard to trust whatever you're grieving or your emotions right now, that it's going to bring you to a much clearer place and to many different outcomes of realization during this time. And then you'll start to see even more concrete examples of that. I think towards the end of the month, Mercury is in retrograde in Taurus as well. And Venus is across from you, so it's possibly really showing you the depths of, or shining a huge light on your love and finances as well. But this is also showing you where and how you ultimately have been stopping yourself from really stepping into what it is that you deserve, are worth, believe. So this is a big one about traditional beliefs versus your beliefs, but you have to like, well, you don't have to do anything, but you may have to dig deeper, and you may get some very like lovely answers, like this Knight of Cups. It's like he's just showing you, it's like, this is where you could feel like you're lacking and you're not. You're just gripping to something when you need to like release, grasp it, allow things to come to fruition, show people, show yourself. So it's a lot of of things that we'll get into the next part. Thank you for being here. We'll see you in the next part, and we'll see you next month, Sagittarius. I hope you have a beautiful May. Oh, all information to work with me is below and extended. It'll be great.